أهلا بكم في الحلقة
Welcome to the first
الأولى
episode
من
of the
سلسلة
series entitled The
حلقات
Box of
صندوق
Islam.
الإسلام.
The Box of Islam
صندوق
makes us
الإسلام
recall the camera
بيفكرنا
obscura,
بصندوق
in which
الدنيا
we've been
اللي
playing
كنا
with
وإحنا
at
أطفال
childhood.
بنلعب عنده
Watching
بنشوف في
through a
ثقب
small hole a
معين
completely different world as it
عالم
was well
تاني
known in old
ودنيا
days
تانية غير
Egypt where
العالم
we've
اللي
been
احنا
raised.
نعرفها في القرى والمدن اللي اتربينا فيها.
This was my
ودي كانت
idea,
فكرتي
that is,
إني
every day, I
كل
push
يوم
my hand into the box
أحط
of
إيدي
Islam and
في
pull
صندوق
out a new
الإسلام
issue or
وأطلع
new
منه
problem that many people
قضية
don't
جديدة،
deal with.
مشكلة جديدة، ناس كتير ما بتتعاملش معاها.
All of us
احنا
Muslims,
كلنا
at the
واحنا
time when we were little
صغيرين لحد
children,
حتى لما
kept
كبرنا
repeating
دايما
that,
نقول أنا
I'm a
مسلم
Muslim,
وأفتخر
and proud to be
من غير
one,
ما نعرف
without
نفتخر بإيه
understanding whether
ومسلم
why I'm a
ليه.
Muslim nor why I'm proud of being one.
فضل
The Islam kept us within
الإسلام
this box so we
حاططنا في
couldn't see
الصندوق
anything
دون
else,
فما
but
بنشوفش
when we
غيره.
start stepping out of
لكن
the
لما
box,
بنطلع بره
we
الصندوق
started viewing new
بنبتدي
ideas from
نشوف
new
أفكار
viewpoint.
تانية وزاوية تانية
So we
بتعرفنا
started
حاجات في
seeing new
الإسلام
things
ما
about Islam
كانتش
that we
تخطر
would
على
have never
بالنا عشان
imagined
كنا
because we were stuck
مزنوقين
inside the
داخل
box.
الصندوق.
The box
صندوق
of Islam
الإسلام
is not an attack against
مش هجوم
anybody,
على حد
not an attack on a doctrine,
ومش
but an
هجوم
attempt
على
for free
عقيدة
thinking,
وإنما
which is a
محاولة
prohibited taboo in
للتفكير
the Arabic
الحر
and Islamic
اللي هي
countries.
في الدول العربية والإسلامية ممنوعة ومحرمة.
Nowadays,
دلوقتي فيه
there
موجة
is a new trend along the Arabic and
وموضة
Islamic
جديدة
world,
ماشية في الدول
especially in
العربية
Egypt,
خاصة في مصر
calling for
اسمها
reforming
إصلاح
Islam and renewal
الإسلام
of the
وتجديد
religious
الخطاب
speech.
الديني.
You will find
وهتلاقي
people
ناس
such
زي
as Professor
الأستاذ
Islam
إسلام
al-Buwairi.
البحيري، هتلاقي
You will
ناس
find
زي
people such as
دكتور
Dr.
عدنان
Adnan
إبراهيم،
Ibrahim,
دكتور
Dr.
محمد
Mohammed
شحرور
Shur and others who say
وغيرهم
that the Islam at the
بيقولوا
time of the Prophet
إن
was very beautiful,
الإسلام
had no troubles,
في
practiced
عصر النبي
tolerance, and it
كان
was a
جميل
religion
جدا
of peace.
وما فيهوش مشاكل وكان متسامح ودين رحمة.
Afterward,
وبعدين
the Umayyad
جم
Caliphate and the
الأمويين
Abbasid Caliphate came and
والعباسيين
started to distort
وابتدوا
Islam
إن
and used a
هم
wrong method to explain
يحرفوا
it,
الإسلام
and Islam
أو
kept going wrongly
يفسروه
like this for
بأسلوب
1400
غلط
years,
وفضل الإسلام
distorted,
ماشي كده
misunderstood,
بتاع
and
1400 سنة
misused.
مشوه ومش مفهوم ويساء فهمه ويساء استخدامه.
And now,
ويفضل بعد
after
1400
1400
سنة
years,
ينتظر
the
الإسلام
Islam is
مجيء
still waiting for those
الناس اللي
people to
فاهمينه صح
understand
بقى
it properly,
اللي هم
who
بيفسروه
explain
صح
it the right way,
وبيقولوا
and say that Islam is a
الإسلام
religion of
دين
peace and mercy.
رحمة ودين سلام.
My
أنا لي
viewpoint
نظرية
is
مختلفة
exactly the
تماما
opposite
في
regarding
هذا
this point.
الموضوع وهو
That
أن
is, Islam
الإسلام
started as a
يعني
ferocious
بدأ
religion.
كدين متوحش.
Its nature
هو
was like
طبيعته
this
كده
within
في
the
وسط
Arabian
الجزيرة
Peninsula.
العربية. مكة والمدينة
Mecca and Medina
كانت
were from the
مدن
cities that
لا
promised no
تعب
civilization or
بأي
any
مدنية
civilized
أو أي
culture of any
حضارة
type.
أو أي ثقافة.
It was a group of
وقبائل
tribes grouped
تجمعت
together and invaded the Arabian Peninsula, and
وغزت
afterward,
الجزيرة العربية
began invading the whole world.
وبعد كده ابتدت تغزو العالم كله.
And when the Umayyad and
ولما
Abbasid came to power, they were the ones who
والعباسيين
rectified and
جم
civilized this horrifying monster
هم
and made it go
ابتدوا
along with the
يهذبوا
civilization.
هذا الوحش ويخلوه يتمشى مع الحضارة.
They were the
هم
ones who
اللي
invented the
اخترعوا
chronicles of the prophet to put
سيرة
him into
للنبي
specific
عشان
civilized
يحطوه في
frame.
إطار حضاري معين.
They are
هم
the
اللي
ones who invented the
اخترعوا
jurisprudence
علوم
and narration
الفقه
sciences to
والحديث
put Islam into
علشان
specific frames.
يحطوه في أطر معين.
I'm sure that many of you attended the debate
تابعتوا
between
كلكم
Professor
أكيد
Islam
من فترة
al-Buwairi, Sheikh Usama from Al-Azhar,
الحوار
and
أو
Sheikh Al-Habib
المناظرة
Ali
بين
Al-Jafrai.
الدكتور إسلام البحيري والشيخ أسامة الأزهري والشيخ الحبيب علي الجفري.
Honestly, within this debate and the dialogues came afterward about it, I observed the tragedy of Islam that we are living in until our very day. That is, all of us, including the reformers themselves, are all still inside the box, and cannot step out of it. The reformers are forced to separate between two things, the Prophet and the Quran in one side and the Islamic history in a completely different side. This separation is not understandable nor acceptable at all. Everything happened along the history of Islam is a consequence of what had happened in the first century of Islam. Everything happened along the history of Islam derives its legitimacy from what happened in the Arabian Peninsula at the time of the Prophet. When I was reading the history of Islam, I recognized that when the Prophet was calling peacefully to Islam, such as mentioned in the Quran, call to the path of your God by the good wisdom and good preaching, nobody believed him, except a very few minority that cannot construct a state. The infamously called the Islamic State. On what basis it been emerged? What foundation on which the infamous Islamic State brought to existence? The making of an army was the basis of the birth of the Islamic State that been established. This army started the Islamic invasions. The army started attacking the trade convoys. The army started to establish an Islamic economy based on the idea of invasion. When I made my research about job practiced by the Prophet and his companions in Medina after the migration took place, I found out that they were jobless. The only thing they did is launching invasions, and afterward, the Prophet comes and allots the loots among Muslims. That was when the number of Muslims increased dramatically with this logic. Earlier, when he was calling to Islam using wisdom and good preaching, there were no such huge numbers believed in Islam. The large numbers came in when there was a political and economical benefit from Islam. That is when joining this group, you will have a share from the loot. While reading the Quran and the Islamic history, I found a very weird thing, that is, God and the Prophet has the fifth of the loots gained by wars. Where this came from, this is strange from the viewpoint of any religion or doctrine logic. How and where this logic came from? I'm going to use symmetry comparing between the emergence of Islam and the birth of Mafia. This similarity might upset many.
نشأة الإسلام ونشأة المافيا. التشبيه ده بيضايق ناس كتير.
It is very natural and understandable that no believer in Islam would like to listen to assimilating it with the Mafia. However, this is useful to understand and grasp the crisis of Islam. Islam lives a disaster within itself, and causing a disaster for the whole world around. All that is caused of the way the birth of Islam had happened. Muslims couldn't be freed from it until our day. My term for this is the birth defect of Islam. This disaster is manifested by this emergence of Islam, with the fast success politically, economically, the expansion, and the occupations or conquests as called by Muslims. What caused success and progress for Islam in the past is the same cause for the problem of nowadays Islam that keeps Islam inside the box. The Mafia. How did the Mafia movement emerge? If we compare carefully, we find out that the birth of Mafia it is very similar to the birth of Islam. Where did the Mafia born? The Mafia born in the island of Sicilia in southern of Italy. Why specifically the island of Sicilia? Sicilia Island was occupied by the Arabs. No other's culture affected Sicilia more than the Arabic culture. The Arabic culture in Sicilia affected all aspects of life, the farming, the concepts of trade. They introduced the notion of the tribute, the jizya, into southern Italy. If you recall, there was a saying for the previous Libyan president, Al-Qaddafi, considered as a joke at the time, but what he said had some truth. He said that the word mafia is from Arabic origin from the word mafia. This is true. Specialists in the history of mafia approve that the origin of the word mafia is Arabic. Although they are not sure if it is from the word mafia, in the mafia terminology the term is called piso, meaning that the subject of it is under their protection. That is, the blackmail and taking the tributes, the same as in the old Egyptian movies as Al-Harafish, where people being forced to pay the tribute and only the one who pays can pass through. It is the same mentality at the days of establishing the state of Medina. The same idea: you invade, capture the looting, and allot the looting. As a consequence, your economy would be based on this strategy. You protect a group of people, and in return, you take tribute from them for protect them. The Islam has established politically just like that. Whether we agreed or not, this is the truth. This is the truth that neither Professor Islam al-Bahiri nor the people who attacked him can deny. Lately, some people came to say that this has nothing to do with Islam, and people distorted Islam after the Prophet era. Back to the origin of Mafia. There was an Arabic tribe in Sicilia called Al-Mafir that suggests the name of Mafia. The name Mafia came from this direction. Al-Ma'afar were the ones who brought the system of tributes to Sicilia.
إلى صقلية.
They used to attack certain territories, force it under their control, and force a tribute upon its people. This tribe, even after the Arabs been pushed away politically from Sicilia, it kept its roots within Sicilia. Afterward, in the 19th century, the new mafia movement been established on the same basis. There were employees to collect the rent from the farmers for the feudal lords. Such employees were called in the Old Egypt al-Kholi as it appeared in the old movies. This al-Kholi had a weapon. A group of Kholi been sent to collect the rent and tributes from small farmers. At that period of history, Sicilia declared independence, and there was a chaos in the island. This made those employees equipped with the weapons to take the rule of the state. They were to impose security. It was the same as the Republic committees at the time of revolutions. As long they had the weapons and power, with the absence of real state laws, they started to impose the law of the jungle of their own. If you give me money, I would protect you. The one who don't give money, I don't protect. He raids on people and loot their possessions. That was the beginning of the mafia movement, which is very similar to the beginning of Islam. What had happened at the beginning of Islam? While the Prophet spent 12 years in Mecca calling for Islam, no one accepted. He was talking beautiful speeches, the most beautiful verses of the Quran. You find it is from the era when the Prophet was in Mecca. You will find him preaching tolerance. You will find him telling people, you have your religion and I have mine. The Quran quotes, call for the path of your Lord with the wisdom and the good preaching. Also quotes, argue with them, the unbelievers, with the good way. You find the Prophet calling for neither the violence nor wars. The word fighting or war never appeared in the Quran, except in Medina. All these decent principles had no effect upon the people in Mecca. But everything changed when he moved to Medina. What dramatic change had happened? People who tell you this story are usually hurrying up exactly at this point, just if they are eating a fast bite. No, digest before swelling. Yes, digest before swelling. What really happened that made the people enter into the religion of God as brigades as expressed by history? What exactly changed? And what move took place? The crucial move was that a military coalition been established, one of a very strange type. We all been told by Islamic sheikhs that the Prophet made coalition with the tribes of Aws and Hazraj, and he made truce between them, and established the Islamic State in Medina. No, before any of Aws and Hazraj had anything to do with the Islamic history, there was another group that had a vital rule that the Prophet made coalition with. This coalition existed according to the Islamic books. So, what is the name of this group? Actually, it was two groups. The first one called Al-Salik. Those Al-Salik were a group of criminal and thugs who were living in the mountain of Tuhama or Tahama. Those thugs or Salik were being vanquished from their tribes. They were normal youth men from the tribes. Among them whoever committed a crime within the tribe, whoever stole something, whoever did scandalous act that caused the shame to his tribe or disgraced the honor of it. So, he got expulsion from his tribe. Those thugs were gathered in that mountain and starting forming armed groups. They went on raiding the trade convoys, attacking the tribes, abducting women and children, and selling them as slaves. They lived on hijacking and looting. The first act done by the Prophet when he migrated to Medina, he wrote to these thugs a letter giving them peace. You the people of Salik, you're from me and I'm from you.
وساندتوني
If you follow my
كل
religion
شيء
and
انتوا
support me,
عملتوه
then everything you did,
الدم اللي
every
عليكم
blood you
اللي
shed,
سرقتوه
every looting you got is
كله حلال
halal, lawfully by religion
بس
of Islam is
تجوني
permitted for you,
وتبقوا جزء
but on the
من
condition that you come
دولتي
to me and be part of my new Islamic state.
يحاجروا
Thus,
الصعاليق
those thugs Saliq
وأول
migrated to
هجوم على
Medina.
القوافل
The first
كان من
attack on the
الصعاليق
trade convoys
ليه؟
was done
لأن
by
يهود المدينة
al-Saliq.
كانوا ضد فكرة
The
إنك
reason
تهاجم
behind that the
إنك
Prophet
تستخدم
needed the
المدينة
Saliq was because the
للهجوم
Jews of
إحنا
Medina were against
ندافع
using
معاك
Medina
عن
for
المدينة
attacking the
لكن
trade
أنت ما
convoys.
تهاجمش من المدينة
The Jews
على
were
قبائل
willing to
تانية لأن أنت
defend
كده
with the
بتحرجهم
Prophet on the
حتى الأوس
Medina,
والخزرج في
but they
البداية
refused that he
ما
launches attacks
شاركوش في
from Medina
غزوة
against the other
بدر
tribes,
وما
as this
شاركوش
would embarrass us
في
as Jews. Furthermore, at the beginning of these
الهجمات اللي على
attacks,
القوافل
the
قبل كده
Aos and Hazraj tribes didn't take part in the attack of
فالصعاليق
Badr,
كانوا
nor they took part in
أساس
attacks
النجاح
against the trade convoys before that.
جاء بعد كده قبيلة
Hence,
اسمها
those
قبيلة
Saliq were
غفار
the core for
بتاعت
the
أبو ذر
success of
الغفاري
Islam. After
أو أبو
that,
ذر
a
الغفاري
tribe called Gifayr that
القبيلة
been led by
كلها
Abu
كانت
Zuhr
قطاع طرق
al-Ghifari came to
وهي
play.
القبيلة الوحيدة
This whole
التي
tribe
هاجرت عن
consisted of
بكرة أبيها
muggers.
كلهم هاجروا من
This was
مكة
the only tribe
من
that all of
غفار
its members
إلى المدينة
migrated
كلهم
completely
استوطنوا
from
في المدينة
Gifayr to Medina. All of them
ليه؟
settled in Medina.
اشمعنى
Why
القبيلة
this
دي
tribe
بالذات هي اللي
specifically
هاجرت
migrated?
لأن النبي عايزهم
Because the Prophet needs them.
النبي عايزهم
The Prophet needed them
عشان
to support
يقووا
his
شوكتهم
backbone.
ما هو عارف
He knew that it is
إن
difficult for
القبائل
Arab
العربية
tribes to
صعب
attack
إن
his
هي
tribe
تبتدي
Quraysh
تهاجم
because the
قريش
tribes
لأن
had
عندها
business
مصالح مع
relations with
قريش
Quraysh.
حتى الأوس والخزرج
At
في
the
البداية
beginning, also
كان
the
في
Aos and
نوع
Hazraj
من
had some
الحرج
sensitivity to do that.
هو
But he got
ورطهم
them
فيما بعد
involved
بقى في
afterward
الحروب
with wars in a
وخاصة
deadlock
بعد ما يبقى
situation.
يعني نجح
Especially,
ابتدوا يساعدوه
after he
لكن في
succeeded,
البداية
they started helping him.
هم الصعاليق
But at the very beginning of Islam,
وقبيلة
the
غفار
thugs al-Saliq and the
اللي
tribe of muggers
ابتدوا
Gifayr
يخلوا
were the ones
للإسلام
who really
قيمة
brought value
ووزن
and weight to
وهكذا
Islam.
نشأ
This is
الاقتصاد
how the
الإسلامي
Islamic economy
وظل
emerged
هكذا
and kept
قرون
on
طويلة
like this
جدا
for very long centuries.
الاقتصاد الإسلامي
The Islamic economy based from
قائم
its start on these
منذ
ideas:
بدايته
enslaving,
على
looting,
هذه الأفكار
allotting the loot, the
السبي
tribute,
السطو
selling human
تقسيم
beings.
الغنائم
Yes,
الجزية
a very
بيع
disgraced word.
البشر
The human slave trade was the
كلمة
core
مؤذية
of the
جدا
Islamic
أيوة
economy
تجارة
up to the
العبيد
times of the Ottoman
كانت من
Empire.
عصب الاقتصاد
It has been
الإسلامي
kept up to the
لحد
time
الدولة
of
العثمانية
declaration of freeing the slaves by the United States
لحد
by
ما
Abraham Lincoln.
بعد تحرير
And when
العبيد
international
في
treaties were
أمريكا
conducted
إبراهام
to
لينكولن
prevent the trade of
لما
human
ابتدوا
slaves.
يعملوا مواثيق دولية لمنع تجارة العبيد
By the way,
وهو ده الشيء على
this is the
فكرة
thing that really damaged the
اللي
Islamic economy.
أضر
If you recall the speech of the Sheikh Abu Ishaq al-Hawiyani, he said,
الاقتصاد
"We,
الإسلامي
the Muslims,
لأن
were
اللي
weakened
متعود طول
beginning from the
حياته
time
لو
when we
تفتكروا
stopped
الكلام
launching
اللي قاله أبو
invasions
إسحاق
against the
الحويني
countries
قال
of
لك إن إحنا
infidels."
ضعفنا
He touched the
من
heart of the
ساعة ما
truth by
بطلنا
saying this,
نعمل
because
غزوات
all our
على بلاد
economy was
الكفر
based on this.
وعنده حق فعلا
As
ما هو لأن اقتصادنا
al-Hawiyani
كله كان قايم
explained,
على هذا
you go
الأساس
and occupy a country and
إنك
get
تروح
one or
تسطو
two
هو
heads
كان
to
يقول
solve
لك
with them your
يعني
financial
تروح تسطو
problem.
على بلد تاخد
Really,
لك راس
the
راسين
Islamic
تبيعهم
economy
تفك
based on
بيهم
this idea.
أزمتك هو كان الاقتصاد الإسلامي فعلا قائم على هذه الفكرة
With the absence of the capability of Muslims to
ولما
invade,
غابت
loot, enslave and sell the slaves,
إمكانية
they figured out that they have nothing to sell to the
السطو
humanity.
والغز
Today's global
والغنائم
economy is based on
والسبي
selling the
وبيع
thing that the
العبيد
humanity needs.
اكتشفوا ان ما عندهمش حاجه يبيعوها للبشريه. الاقتصاد العالمي حاليا قائم على فكره انك بتبيع شيء البشريه محتاجاه.
The one who controls humanity today is no more the one who has more weapons or has vicious people attacking the villages and the tribes. No, the one who controls the world today is the one who has something he sell to the world.
على العالم هو اللي عنده شيء بيبيعه للعالم.
You will find the most important countries in the world are the ones leaving their products inside your house. Look inside your house and observe the American, the Japanese, the German, or the Chinese product, and you will know that these are the powerful nations. Where is the KSA product in your house? Where is the Pakistan, the Morocco, the Levant, the Egyptian product in your house? You will find none. So, this is the crisis, and this is the problem, that is the formation of Islam had a birth defect. Its birth had violence. The birth of Islam had economy based on injustice against the other and taking away the other's rights. At the time when these reasons of Islam vanished, at the time when humanity developed its economical and political structure, the Islamic world kept been stuck inside his own old box, the box that partitions the world into believer and infidel.
اللي بيقسم العالم لمؤمن وكافر.
This box is keeping Muslims from seeing the outside.
بره هذا الصندوق.
The people inside this box being told that this box is the best place and they are the best nation brought to the human race.
أمة وخير أمة أخرجت للناس.
In the next episode, we will continue our comparison between Islam and the Mafia.
هنكمل
I'm looking forward that the audience wouldn't take this subject with too much sensitivity. I was one of the people who were one day saying, "Thank God for the grace of Islam."
أنا واحد من الناس كنت في يوم من الأيام بقول الحمد لله على نعمة الإسلام.
Until once, while saying this word, I asked myself the question, what am I thanking God for exactly? And what grace is this? Shouldn't the person who thanks God for his grace recognize and tell what grace is it? Before the individual say, "I'm a Muslim and proud to be one," shouldn't he ask himself in the first place, what does it mean to be a Muslim? And what about exactly I'm proud of? Otherwise, the whole process is only something egomaniac, and that's it. Whatever that supports the identity, and that's it. Similar to carry two crutches, carry and walk with them because he cannot find something else. He tells you that these crutches are the most beautiful thing in the whole world. And the West is spiteful against us because we are Muslims. Why would the West be spiteful toward Muslims? Those who criticize Islam do not do so because they are jealous from your political or economical establishments. Attend us in the next episode. We are going to talk about the Islam and Mafia. I wish to see you in good shape in the second part.